Morning students, how are you? We are going to start now literature, and in literature we are going to start a poem, Ozymandias. So do you have your books in your hand? Well, open page number 69, Ozymandias. See, this is a great poem which teaches us the philosophy of living life, the philosophy of being simple in life, the philosophy of being humble in life. Some are the lines are there which can make you very polite, very humble, and if you are going to be egoistic, this poem is going to tell you what the consequences, what the results are there of being egoistic in the world. This poem was written by VII Shelley. See, on page number 17, the information is given about the poet VII Shelley. Pay attention to that. VII Shelley was born in 1792 and was died in 1822. He was an English romantic poet. He is regarded by some to be one of the finest lyric and epic poets in the English language. A radical in his poetry as well as in his political views, Shelley was recognized by his poetry after his death. This is really a sad part of his life that he was poet. He was one of the best poet in Romanticism. But world got to know about him only after his death. Shelley is perhaps best known for such classic poems as Ozymandias, Ode to the West Wind, To a Skylark, Music, When Soft Voices Die, The Cloud, and the Mosque of Anarchy. If you will go through all the poems written by this poet, what you will get to see? A typical type of philosophy of living life is given over there. He was such a poet who taught all the philosophies through lucid and musical lines. In this poem also, he taught us that how a person should be very simple and very humble throughout the life, so that he can be recognized after death, as the poet is recognized after his death only because of his poems and philosophies, whatever he has prescribed through the poem. He wants to tell us that however you may be educated, however you may be talented, or however you may be what we can say smart or handsome personalities, but only one thing can get the recognition to you, fame to you, name to you, and that what is your simplicity, your politeness. The reverence is a great word actually to say. The reverence means the respect. Can't be demanded, it can be commanded. And when you can command the respect, you can command the respect the time when you are going to be polite after being a big person. I can give you the example of Amitabh Bachchan. He is a millennium star, but he is very polite. See, our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, he is really one of the best Prime Ministers of this country, but he is very polite. Correct? Or see, your parents, they are well educated, but they are very polite while being with you, while being outside of the home. This is the, what we can say, basic thing which you have to learn through this poem at this age. Correct? So see, we'll start with the poem. Ozymandias. I met a traveler from an antique land. Antique means ancient. The poet was on his way and he met a traveler, and traveler was from an ancient land. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lips and sneer of cold command. Okay, now see, we'll go through the glossary first to understand the glimpse of line. Here antique means ancient. Here visage means face. Face could be this portion up to neck, from head to neck, that is called visage, that is called face. And frown. Frown means, see, frown is a type of facial expression of anger. When you are in wrath, when you are too much angry, then you can see yourself in mirror and you can get the expressions on your face, and those expressions of being angry is called frown. And wrinkled, having small lines on the face because of old age. Do I have any wrinkle on my face? I don't think so. I do have. Okay. Wrinkled means lines on the face because of getting old age. And sneer. Sneer means an unkind expression on the face that shows disrespect or disapproval towards someone or something. That is called sneer. Correct? So see, in first stanza, actually it is a free, it's not free verse we can say, it has a rhyming scheme also. At the end we'll see what is the rhyming scheme while going through the poetic devices. Okay, but see, in these first lines, in this first stanza, what does the poet want to say to you? Poet says, I met a traveler from an antique land, and I met a traveler who was from ancient land. When poet conversed with that traveler, the traveler said, two vast and trunkless legs. Now trunkless means there are two legs of stone, vast, very big, but they are trunkless. Trunkless means the upper part of the body is not there. Only two legs are there. If you will see the page number 69 minutely, so in the left corner of that page you will see two stone legs are standing without trunk, without vest or the upper part of the body. Correct? So traveler said to the poet that I have seen two stone legs standing in the desert. Only legs. There is no upper part of the body. The legs are standing in the desert. And the legs are huge, big, stand in desert. Correct? Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies. See, near to those legs, in the sand and half sunk in the sand of the desert, a face is laying there. Do you know statues were made by the kings in ancient period, and kings thought that they would be praised by coming generation while being watched or being looked at their statues. So kings established their statues, their castles and their monuments, pillars. What has happened to all the castles today? We have one castle near to our city. I think it is in north direction, that is called Narnala Castle, correct? Some of the time ago, a king might have lived over there. He might have built the castle. At the time of that contemporary king, the castle might be dazzling with the lights, would have been crowded by the people, servants, and the people dwelling over there. Correct? And what is today? It is completely lonely. No one is living over there. Even at night, nobody will dare to go over there. Would the kings might have thought single time that whatever they were erecting at that time would be barren on a day in future? Barren, completely lonely. Nobody will be living over there. Kings erected their castles with proud heart, with complete ego, and all the castles are now barren today, completely ruined, collapsed. You can see the castles in shattered condition, correct? So see, castles were made by the kings, their statues were made by the kings to show their power, supremacy for the to the coming generation. They wanted to show their power to coming generation by erecting their statues. And what had happened to their statues? Today you can see, or through this poem, the poet wants to show you, correct? So see, up to here, I met a traveler from an ancient land who told me that he has seen two legs of stone, very big legs of stone, are standing in the desert, and near to those two legs there is laying a face which is half sunk in the sand, correct? Okay, we'll take a stop here. We'll have the next part in my next period, and you must read this poem. Try to get the gist of this poem on your own, otherwise I am there to explain it to you. Okay, bye, have a nice day. Thank you for being with me.